I had to get this number. I'm at the spore.
Satisfactory starting up, and then I'll do my intro. And for anybody who actively speaking is showing up, we've got new emojis. I worked all weekend. That's partially a joke. Actually, no, that's not a joke. But I didn't work that long, okay? But I did work during the weekend on some new emojis. Hello, Kenny. Hello, Ooga Booga Kenny. Okay. We get one where one where the ghost is just normally shooting. Then we get the Lost It shooting, and then we have the CP. Hello, yes, new emotes. Hype. Yeah. Background things shut off. There we go. I'm just gonna put in the stick emojis. Because I like them, and I worked hard on them. So there's that one, there's that one, and then there's the CP one. Yep. Kenny found the last it. So if you ever feel like a moment matches any of those little ones, just send them right out. Funnily enough, I believe, yeah, the Lost It one. The Lost It. He's lost it! The Lost It one is the one that's actually not technically, matching the, literally me right now. I love this. Yes, the sleepy one. I knew you would. I know that I tend to stream when people are sleepy, so I thought that that would be a good way of surmising some of my viewers. But yeah. Next up, I'm probably going to work on the knockout one. If anybody's got good ideas for what I can have the ghost do, other than, getting knocked out to make fun of me when I lose a sinking match, I'm up for suggestions. But yeah, the sweepy one, I knew that some of my viewers would be sweepy, and I also know that I like using a minigun inside of, well, I don't know. I end up using a minigun inside of, I mean, I like miniguns overarchingly in real life, but in video games I do feel like it does end up being a bit of a complex balance. And a lot of time, it just ends up, I don't know how to say it. Because, like, they're awesome, they're cool. I don't know any game where, like, a minigun shows up, though, where any other gun is worth my time. Or anybody else's time. I know Helldivers had the balancing be that it's effectively, like, useless against armored targets. But that is its own application. But either way, the miniguns are usually just overpowered in video games. Again, that's because, like, in real life, if you want to be realistic with a minigun, the thing that makes a minigun not, like, something that everybody just equips is that it's expensive to maintain. And that's not really something a lot of games want to incorporate. Which, I mean, I'm not blaming them for that. But I'm saying that it's an extremely hard weapon to balance. But, either way, like, they're awesome weapons. I'm not going to deny that. It's just, I'd also like to have, like, where it's not useless to use a lever action just because they're trying to balance for a minigun. You know what I mean? I have, like, 5 minutes before I head out for errands. Yep. Don't worry. Okay. Don't worry about it. You can go ahead and do that. I will only be partly sad that I am alone. I'm joking. Go right on ahead. Good luck with it, too. With your errands, so overarching one. There we go. But yeah. If you want to lurk, just go ahead and lurk. I got the idea. So, today we're going to be figuring out what we're going to be doing with these. I also might just stretch out. Oh, No sad, only happy. Happy ghost. Yeah, happy ghost. Originally, those things would have been called bugs, but calling them ghosts at this point, I feel like just fits in. I was about to call them misfits. I can't choose a name. But yeah. Right now we have where there is a pure oil node over here. Although maybe I should make a sad ghost, because a sad ghost would actively speaking be funny too. Hey. Options, options, options. The limitations of creativity and Blender. It's the fact that you may blunder. Speaking of blunder, how far out is this node? Because I'm thinking that I overshot it a little bit. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the node right there. Alright. Let's see. Should I make this like a 1mm? I think that 4mm is more reasonable in this regard. Yeah. Alright. So we have that all. That all. I don't think a straight shot's the wisest decision. So let's go over to architecture. Big support beam. Perhaps an error was made. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to actively speaking run into having to do that a second time, so I'm going to go ahead and get some power over here. And then I'll get a drill set up. And also, I can also carry this up. Probably from there, actually, because it'd be more convenient. I can carry it over to the box side. No sad. Only happy. Like Happy Ghost. This is so cute. Alright. I just passed by all the power spools that I was trying to use. Okay. So let's see. Does it flip? Yes, it does. I feel like that was predictable. Anyway, what do I want to do to actively solve that then? Well, there's the age-old classic. The problem's the wall. Just put a outlet through it. Okay. Let's pop these together. And nobody will know. I think they'll know. Nobody will know! Okay, that should work. And we just take this one from up here. Alright. Alright. Time to open monster. But yeah, I'm using these lampposts because they effectively work like my custom power pole. Where they'll actually let you just ride on the back without actively having interruptions. Ow. Great. There we go. I do feel like it'd be interesting. Have a power pole that's based off of working like the double power outlet. Or it's just built understanding that you're going to want to actively connect the power up. And you don't automatically want to have one of your slots taken up by, you know, the actual connection. At the opposing end of it, like, that's technically what happened with the super lamp, or super power poles, where they, what are they called? Power towers. That's what happened with the power towers versus the power poles, I guess. And at the opposing end of it, you're not going to incorporate that into, like, a little build. At the opposing end of it, the utility of such a thing has been kind of mitigated by the daisy chaining. So, it's not likely to show up at this point. Alright. That was wrong. Due to the fact that is actively speaking showing up on my lock, that means that I should be able to just hook these straight up. Alright, I overestimated its power, as usual. Okay. The only other thing that I would knock miniguns on, or Gatling guns, is that they're usually based off of increased fire rate, which does tend to actively increase the calculation, like the particles inside of a single match. If you're talking about a particle-based bullet simulation. So, like, at some point, it has advantages and disadvantages. The main problem is hard to balance, and also, I mean, balance based off of current techniques. Most people nowadays use a wind-up, which I know people don't like as realistic. Don't like how unrealistic that is, but that's the opposing end of it. Eh. Alright, so we got that. Excuse me. What happened there? Nope. Alright, so... this... Alright. Let's try this again. Maybe I just wasn't holding forward. Maybe I need to hold forward for these. It seems to be working. If I do it like this, I guess so. Might want to replace them with my power towers then. Not my power towers, my power poles. My custom power poles. I do a Mark II outlet at this side. And then sit down and take power tie from there. This way I won't have to sit down. Oh, actually, no. That's not a smart idea. Anyway. I'm just gonna go ahead, crouch up so that it's a stealth attack, because that's how that works. Okay. I think that wasn't loaded in yet. Gotcha. So, as suspected, it is pure crude. Crude, pure! Okay. Let's see about making this. I should probably also incorporate an Anki Ghost. go. And I'll just... You know what? That means no Z fighting, and everything should be alright and fine. And it's a nice little detail. Alright. Alrighty then. Production. Refinery. I'm just gonna actually just do this. Alright, if we do that, we go over to production, oil extractor. Do I, as suspected. I went too high just to fall. In the end, it didn't even matter. There we go. And there we go. An oil extractor on asphalt. Is that not ironic? Okay, I'm going to actually transfer this oil extractor to be a little bit more over in that direction. There we go. That noted. I need to power it so that it'll actually, like, start making things that I can sync to make sure that it'll keep functionable so that it won't spawn things. Now what I need to do is figure out how to really get a good handling on the liquid logistics for this thing. Because if I can just get the crude oil to, like, do what I need it to where I need it to. Hello? Alright, you've chosen dust. Alright, so this thing is going full fury. It is doing 50 crude oil. Oh no, it's full. It is doing 240 crude oil per minute. Now, the capacity of my Mark IIs... Not my Mark IIs! My Mark IIs is... Let's see. If I go into... O, the inbox, sorry, the recipes, buildings, pipes, I'm just gonna spell it. Pipeline, Mark II, Mark II. Okay, it's 600. So I can handle this pretty well. Alright. Okay. And what do I want to do as far as this goes? I want this to water tower up so that I can actually get anything done over there that I would prefer to. That way head lift just doesn't become an issue. But I also have to acknowledge that's an optimum. I also do want some petroleum coke to make some steel over here so that I can get some steel products. Or iron products for steel prices, more accurately. But I have to get it over there then. And I have to get it very high. I'll deal with that later. Although if I move petroleum coke over there, I can also use that for the deuterium. Sorry, I thought the chat said something for a second there. Alright, so let's get moving. I could also start up with the bauxite storage. Although I'm going to have to make a facility for the bauxite processing because aluminum is a very complex process, apparently. The way that it works, seemingly, is that you gotta, like, give it a bath. And then tuck it in at night. The whole stinking thingamabob. It's horrendous. Anyway, so I gotta figure out how much of this do I want to stick underground and how much do I not. Also, how much do I really want an extensive amount of copper? Because if I have iron ore and copper ore dedicated to producing copper and iron, I might be able to find a middle ground where I could have copper alloy and also iron copper alloy going on at the same time, which would increase both exponentially, if I understand correctly. If I could do copper ingots, so I believe that there is, yeah, copper alloy ingot needs 50/50. 50/50. Does 100 per minute. That's pretty good. Versus the open codex iron alloy, which does 75 per minute. It requires 1040. I don't think that'll work evenly, but I could probably figure something out. Because the water is going to do less. It's going to make less pure iron than anything else. There's, of course, the steel ingot. I should look at it from the iron ingot outside. There's also the option of 50 per minute using limestone. I gotta think about it. This was what I was planning on doing until I realized that there was copper nearby. I could also just... If I'm making the copper ingots, or the iron alloy ingots with one of the iron lines, and then using the other line for coke steel, then that means that there would be 50% on the copper line. which sounds pretty horrible. Until you put into context that I don't have copper powder yet, so it's perfectly fine. And second off, that I have Caterium. And I have the Caterium wire, so the only thing I'm having the copper work on is copper plates. Now, the copper plates go into a lot of the circuitry, which is the main issue with that kind of perspective. So, it might be why it's just go water based on everything. Except for the coke steel. There is one. There is another. If I recall correctly, there should be, like, another iron ore, like, nearby. There's that iron, that iron. I feel like there was another iron, like, that was, like, an impure. If I check my area. Yeah, there's one that's a third pure iron. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. Where's that? There it is. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, organization, we're just doing a floodlight over here. Yeah. That's not helpful. I mean, I could use that to increase my copper output, but there's not really a good reason to. Again, the only thing that I'm going to be doing with it is making copper plates, and copper plates, I'm pretty sure can handle itself. Like, as far as copper plates go, what am I using the copper plates for? Copper plates. Sheets, sorry. So, I'm going to be using them for circuit boards, not for ammunition. Other circuit board. I could use it to automate gas masks if I could, but I can't. And I'm using them for AI limiters. Other than that, I could use them for canisters, which would make some, like, product transfer simpler. But that's about it. Like, that would turn, effectively, conveyors into liquid transfers, which can actually work a lot better for certain applications, but eh. I mean, if I go back in there, parts, canisters, sorry. Alright, there it is. So this does 20 per minute, so I would need to either overclock it, which would be 200%, that'd be like 40 per minute. Yeah, that's not really, I mean, I think 250 is actually the end, so 250. Yeah, 50 per minute. Yeah, so I'd need like eighths. And that's the packing. Going back down to it over here, like, or sorry, that's the unpacking. Packing wise is 30 per minute, so that's a little bit nicer. And again, doing 250%. That's 75 per minute. Ah. Eh. I don't know. Versus just waiting on the pipes, I think that the pipes might be a wiser decision. As far as the copper goes, I don't know. There's not really a reason to use it extensively past the copper sheets, which I can't use anything else for, and I can use the water to try and increase that as well. I might just water cook the rest of it. So, like, use... Yeah. Either way, though, I've got thinking, like, switch up these lines if I'm going to do that. Because that's just stinking stupid not to. Alright, and then switch up that line with this one. Alright. That was the one that I did not want to do that with. Purple steel. Up. And now... just do that. Great. So now I just gotta figure out where I want the building that I'm gonna be putting all these stinking, like, foundries in are gonna go. So yeah, I'm just gonna probably... yeah. That's explanatory. I'm gonna probably, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna probably, yeah. Like, some people, they probably know. They go, probably nah. No. I go, probably, yeah. Should I do it closer to the actual iron factory? Probably. Especially since there's not really a limitation, and there's more power poles over there, so I'm not in the middle of the dark zone. There's nowhere for the tower to go! So here's the Caterium. I moved it to the side so that it'd fit through with this. Okay. Okay. Alright, so we have water extractor via the extractor. Alright, so what does this recipe do? We got 120 per minute. We need 4 of them to fill up one line. Yiker snipers, watch it chug. Good gravy. I don't know why it doesn't like that very much, but it very much does not. Thank you. That was absolutely what I wanted to happen there. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take the logistics, pipeline Mark II. There we go. Well, at least these things are able to be, oh, good gravy. At least they're able to be, daisy chained. So, there's that. Logistics, Pipeline Mark II. Can't do that one, can do that one. This is the level of stupidity that I have to go through for some of this crap. Alright, so let's try and... Oh, good gravy. Let's just... There we go. Hmm. Okay, so... Don't like any of that. Gonna actually base it off of the edge of the floor so that it's a lot easier to just get it done reliably. Okay. Good. Gosh, something is stinking glitching. Alright. Actually gonna probably do this for this guy. I do gotta be honest, I feel like that'd be better. Alright. we go. Would not be a problem if I need to flip and paint that, don't I? There we go. Problem solved. Fix it factory, foundation. Problem solved. Alright. Gosh. Things are very laggy right now. Alright. Let's see what we can do. I'm out of the way. Does that work suddenly? Yep, it does. Alright. Is it just clear? We're good? Awesome. We're in the clear, guys. Okay. Now we just get to figure out how the rest of it. Mark 2, please. And also, I would say horizontal to vertical. There we go. Alright, there we go. A little bit more like it. Then I just gotta figure out how to get it up the rest of the way. Although I could try to actually build it off of this thing. But I do feel like it probably... do better if I treated it like it's actually a stinking... separate building. Yeah, that might be a wiser idea to just handle it like a separate building. That... Why didn't I think of that earlier? I started talking, and then I realized, oh, I'm being dumb. Happens to the best of us. I just thought of this like a minute earlier. Ah, excuse me. Gosh, crips. Gronky. Nope, nope, nope. Gosh. Alright. I know there's one mold I'm not going to be using to, like... bring up water, so I would have probably used that. Okay, is this high enough? Well, I mean, it gives you a sense of scale, so probably. Alright. So we just gotta bring the pipes up here. And then once we bring the pipes up there, then we can just bring them right back down, and that should actually mean that anything below will have enough head lifts. So we can just use the logistics floor underneath. It'll take a little bit to fill, but once that's done, now we're thinking set. Although it'd be wise to actually have like a water storage up here, because that's where the head lift is. And if we don't stick it up here, then it's gonna have to like get some boost to actually get the head lift properly anyway. Heaven forbid the power goes out. The system will have to actually like repressurize, and I don't want to deal with that. So putting the pressurizer up here seems like the wisest decision. The auxiliary bladder. So this is going to be the water tower. I'm going to say I'm probably going to want 4. Just in case. Yeah, 4 ladders, meaning 4 pipes too. There we go. I should really get to constructing the liquid biofuel stuff. Here we go. Age-old ladder shenanigans. Foundation. Hello. Sure, fine. And since I'm not using this for fuel, I'm using this for production. 4 seems like it might be able to be sufficient, but I might need more later. So being prepared to actually have this grow might be a wise decision. Especially if I have to, like, start watering down metal. Yeah, I could do that with the last. So, like, okay. I want to stress this copper line to 480. And I want to stress both of these iron lines to 480, and I might even stress that last one to 480. But I want to take 240 out of this copper line and transfer it into iron ingots, and then I want to take the last 240 and transfer that into copper ingots. But if I use the water to increase that production, that should still actively be a sufficient amount for the copper plates that I'm going to be requiring, because I have Caterium ore coming in from over there. The only question is if I can use something to actually increase the Caterium ore, but the thing is I can use the petroleum coke to increase the Caterium ore, but the petroleum coke is over there, and I have to bring it over here to make that work. Unless I bring the Caterium over there. Either way, that is a lot of work. Okay. Opposing end of it. A lot of work that'll have a lot of good come out of it, so... We just go over here, yeah, we've got an ability to walk around it. So... I could have it force it to go through these lines, but I don't feel like that's a good idea. I could force direction using these things, but no. No. I don't have to, though, and that's really the advantage. So by doing that, we then take organization, it's not what I'm looking for. Gosh. All outlet. How about we do this instead? Alright, that'll work. Or will it? Hmm. No. The only thing I can fit to this current hole structure is... nine. And I need 8. As again, ignoring that I have to have a central point to actually come out from. I'm gonna have to delete this whole section and also move these two back 1. So... Alright. Alright, so I'm thinking that I'm gonna have the back be the, what would I call this? Let's say the pressurizer line. So, there is the pressure line and then the pressurizer. One produces pressure, one utilizes it. So I'm thinking for the low pressure line or the pressurizer line, probably gonna go for blue, and then we'll just go with red for pressure line. And that's going to be something that just exists within this tower, not going to be something that, actively speaking, matters exterior to it. So with that noted, these are going to have to go onto the pressure line. Although I could go with green for the pressure line. Alright, 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 alright. So we want 2 wall outlets. That's completely incorrect. We're gonna take these, find a blue one. Okay, there's blue. You're blue now. No! Alright. Great. 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 Thanks for jumping off the flipping ladder like flipping. We blued on. You don't think that this is all the consequences of my actions. I made too many good emojis and now my computer's objecting. I mean, I didn't make them on this computer. I was saying, like, what the crap are you doing? I don't think that, like, I don't think that's a thing. Whatever. All right. Back to it. Please no. Okay, there we go. No, not again, not again, not again. Hello, Atlas. Hello. Hello, Gore. Aren't you adorable? The emotes look awesome. I'm glad. Okay. Gosh, this thing's checking. No! No! No. How's Satisfactory been treating you? Any progress on your refining line, or are we decorating today? Refining line. I don't know what that's referring to specifically. I'm sure that is a term I used at some point. But if you're talking about... Whoa. There we go. If we're talking about my oil's done. What I'm working on now is basic parts, making them a better factory than what I have currently. So, like, I did my steel factory separately. Currently, I'm trying to somewhat integrate the decoration into the actual build, because, well, this is supposed to be a water tower that I don't go to ever so often. The point is this to not be visited. Last stream I was here, yeah, I was brainstorming nuclear progression. Maybe I'm mistaken. I think I was talking about nuclear progression, but I'm not at that point yet. Because I was talking to Gator, and Gator is at nuclear progression, but I'm not. I still have to finish this current tier. Speaking of which, that is something that I can really quick do. But this all right here is lagging the crap out of me. I might do it off stream. But yeah, that's a lot of hard work. Requires a ton of infrastructure, I'd imagine. Specifically, the problem with nuclear is that nuclear waste comes into play. Which is hilarious that it's like this horrible thing inside of Satisfactory. Do you know what nuclear waste is in real life? Do you want to know what, like, real life nuclear waste is? It's hilarious. Can nuclear waste in this game not be renewed? Yeah, it's something where you can't sink it, but in real life, nuclear waste is just distilled water. But in this game, it's like this horrible thing. You can't stick it into the sink. You can't actively get anything from it. You have to reprocess it back into usable nuclear material. Meaning you have to re-enrich the uranium. But in real life, like, it's either like depleted uranium, which is actually quite useful, or it's like effectively just boiled water. But in this game, it's like, it's horrible. It'll destroy the environment. You have to stick it into plenty of little containers or, like, reprocess it. Meanwhile, in real life, it's just not that bad. It is hilarious. Ugh. Okay, so there's no machine to centrifuge them. I wonder if you can feed it to the wildlings. And I don't watch The Simpsons. I haven't watched The Simpsons personally. Not like as a like mean thing. I didn't watch The Simpsons. But like I didn't watch The Simpsons, but I keep on getting this short show up / the clip shows up in videos where Simpson is just eating the nuclear waste. The radioactive waste. I need motors. That's what I need. I need motors. I'm full of motors. I need automated wiring too, which means I need cables. Ugh. Cables. I have none of those. Let's get to work. First things first, we dump the automated wiring back into our sorting system because that's what it's built for. Why isn't... I just need to get the cables in there. Of course. Stators are more important. You'll have way less of those. Let's just really sink the rest of those stators. There we go. Holy resources. It ain't that much. But I did build this spot to be driven on. So, oh gosh, it's still stinking like the crap out of me. You wanna know the funniest thing? Like, for the longest time, I didn't have, like, oh, what is it called? Reinforced plates auto-synced. But I had, like, turbo fuel auto-synced before I had, like, reinforced plates auto-synced. Uh-oh. Okay, maybe some decisions that I've made were not based off of wisdom. I don't know what would tell me that. Okay, let's get this handled. I gotta go into the queue. Put this back in there. It should be fine this time. As long as the lag spikes don't get in our way. There we go. You have screws covered, right? Oh yeah. I got steel screws. I got them steel screws. Now we can stick this into our nice and conveniently unfinished garage. You can see it over here. It'll sort itself out. See, it did. Oh my goodness. Now that's holy resources. Also, we got some miners. We got some miners for the mines. Don't know how I like that phrasing. I very much don't, but it is what it is. Okay, we also have our nice little motors over here. Thank you. Mining away! Exactly. I knew the lost it would be useful. Lost it. I didn't make it to where I can get up there from here. I can't actually disassemble that thing right now because I'm full of chocolate right now, I guess. Give me a second. Oh, I know I can disassemble it. I overestimated my motor production. Alright, Explorer, you're back. Alright, so... Actually... I'm gonna be that one dimwit who actively always paints his stuff bumblebee colored. Whee! Game is running real smooth on the computer. It looks smooth from your perspective. I do not see the smoothness on my end. Yikers snipers. I'll leave this here. I'll more than likely want to use it later. How are these getting back out of the system? I'm just gonna manually stick in the motors. Where do the motors go? Let's follow the path. Let's follow the path. Okay, that's the empty one. I'm guessing this is the motors thing. Yes, it is. Needs motors. It's like... Is it like 45 FPS on your end? Yeah. If not less. Super smooth for stream on my end. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad that you do not have to deal with the bugginess that I have to deal with right now. Okay, is this the modular frames? Yeah, okay. Where did the modular frames go? There it is. So it should be this guy. Yep. Boom. Speaking of which, do you think I should work on the Knockout Ghost next, or the Sad Ghost, or Angie Ghost? This is a discussion. Okay, let's see. We also got... Or do you have a new ghost idea? An innovation, some may even call it. I don't have that many smart plates. Let's see, what's this thing looking like over here? I've got those. So I got 50 control units and 1 or 2 modular engine stacks. Sad Ghost dude needs some love. I need to make Sad Ghost next. Okay. I'll see what I can do. I've been given priority. Okay. Yeah, we need to actively bring in Sad Ghost. Kenny seems prejudiced against it if you go up in the chat long enough. You can see him go, no sad, only happy, like Happy Ghost. I'm joking. But yeah. I'm joking. And I'm glad that he actively speaking isn't sad. That's very important. Okay. So let's get this copper plates into this thing that seems broken. Depends on what is easier. Meh. If you only prioritize off of easiness, you actively end up ignoring the opportunities that a challenge provides. And anyway, I'm doing this partially to learn Blender a little bit better. Get some practice in about the little things, so I'm hardly against exerting spare effort in such regards. Lastly, I mean, I'm more likely to get paid making emotes and emojis than, streaming, I gotta be honest. And I'm not even being paid for that. You know what I mean? He is the Da Vinci of emotes. I wouldn't call myself that. Unless you're gonna say that I can't make things that can fly. I would most certainly agree. The emojis that I make cannot fly. I'm on my phone, so they don't move until I send them. Oh. Well, I think it's fine. Wanna know something funny? Like, I'm glad that it works on your phone at all. My Kick app can't boot on my phone. Every single time I turn on my Kick app at this point, it stinking kicks me out instantly. It's like, I click in, and then my phone can't handle the RAM for some reason, and then it instantly crashes. And it's hilarious, because if I click on a second time, it just, like, removes the window. Android or iOS? iOS. It's like an old iOS, so it's expected. It's one of them SEs. If that actually matters to anybody. So, like, for any androids out there, you can laugh it up for, like, a solid minute. I know that, like, there's a whole war going on about that. You're like, look at me! I have Android! Look at me! I have iOS! Like, I would like Rick that talks to me when I get a call. I wonder if that has something to do with an update. It works great on my Android ghetto. But it works, yeah. Enjoy your moment with the Android thing, Bob. I know that there's a whole stinking war with that. Personally speaking, I actually, like... The thing that I am planning on doing in the long run is just get a Linux phone. Because this kind of crap, I just don't want to deal with. Where I, like, suddenly can't use half my flippin' apps because... Shock and surprise, the app doesn't work, and then it instantly boots over to the app whenever I hit the website. I can't just log in like a stinking browser anymore. I have to stinking go specifically to the app every single time. Which I will note, the actual website works fine for me. It's just the flippin' like it's the app that's the stinking broken thing, and then it always boots over to the app whenever you try and look through the browser, and then you can't flooping log in. Anyway, did I set this up properly? Because if I set it up properly... Also, I do hope that, like, it continues working on your Android, too. I'm not gonna sit down and be like, this thinking dip crap about it. I'm glad that it works at all. I'm gonna get a flip phone at this point. I only need a phone for calling and use an excuse to use a PC. It's the best medium right now. It's best, Yeah. I mean, there's an argument for that, and I'm 100% down with that. But, like, I will also go down the routes with... Usually, if you wanted to go down the routes with that, personally, the only time when I even thought about going into that space severely is actively the one time when, like, a job was, like, right on my heels. And I was like, okay, I could invest in to actively try and figure out if there's, like, a 3DS out there that I could crack. So that I could actually have, like, 3DS games, and also have that for stinking mobile play. And have, like, a phone that's, like, a phone. And then get a stinking Raspberry Pi set up. So I'd, like, have a plan to actually get each one of those problems solved individually with a different, like, device. But then the job didn't go through, so I stopped investigating toward that direction. But that's definitely still, like, a good idea from my perspective. Because, like, if you're going through, like, uploading YouTube and actively, like, dealing with Gmail on the same console as your, like, phone, that's a stinking security risk that you just don't need. Because Google's not automatically the worst thing in the world, but it does, like, outsource its security from my understanding. On an Android, I play some DS and Game Boy emulated games. Yeah, I play a DS emulated game on my iOS. So, like, yeah, 100% down with that. Games sometimes, but they're too complicated and expensive too. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't get the 3DS, if, like, that's a question out there. I just, ethically speaking, was, like, starting to get my hopes up, and then went down south. Way too quick. Well, not way too quick. It was just a stinking chance at a job, and shock and surprise. Things went the way that they usually do. Somebody else was better for the job nearby. Which, I mean, I'm not, like, against the business choosing off of that. That's, like, perfectly practical. Do I have everything set up down there to actually sort out the stuff that I want to sort out? Also, am I No, I'm not. Okay. I actually sat down and did that properly. Good. Okay. The overflow goes right out that way, and I can actually put that somewhere else. Did I hook up the actual belts? Not here, weirdly enough. Yes, I did. Okay. So I should be able to just go over here and just dump in my stuff. So this. And that's about it. Let's start manual processing. because I just dumped stuff into the manual processing jurisdiction, so I probably should sit down and invest some time into that. So this is this leaves? Yes, that's leaves. And this is the spitter and other stuff. Oh no. I know this isn't really a shooter game, but have you ever heard of Deep Rock Galactica? But yes, I have. I've seen some gameplay actually. It's a very nice game. Right now, I will be honest, I don't think I'm going to be able to play it, but that's not because I don't like shooter games, but because currently the computer is severely struggling with space. I might be able to do it at this point because, I recently deleted Jump Space, or uninstalled Jump Space because I just didn't do multiplayer at that point, and that was very much a multiplayer-based game. But, like, I do multiplayer at this point. I was going to say it's right down your alley. I recently started playing Lamau. That's cool. I hope you're enjoying it. And yeah, I can see where that comes in from. Because if I recall correctly, I'll try and figure out what I was about to say later. My brain is not pointing. Oh! Did that just do what I think it did? Let's see. I should have some leaves and stuff magically in my inventory out of nowhere. Okay. Don't know where those came from. Alright, let's see. Did that work? Yep, that worked from there, but I don't know about that one. Okay. Did I just peek the mic with stinking jerkwad? Straight, and for this one, just default, because that's just going to be the wisest. Okay, so let's see. Did wood come? Yep, wood came through. It's an unimaginable peak. I wonder if your siblings would... It's unimaginable peak. Ah, so you're saying that's... I thought that, like, that was a combination of two different video games, where it's, like, a video game called Unimaginable and a combination of Peak. It's like, oh yeah, what's this unimaginable game? I wonder if your siblings would get into it too. Maybe... Okay, so Hedge has a problem with first-person shooters where she gets motion sick. I don't know whether that's head bob, or if it's genuinely just a first-person perspective, because she seems to struggle with it. Ooh, you would love the Game Peak. I know about the Game Peak. I don't know about loving it. But I definitely am aware of it, and I do feel like a couple of the little jokes that they make are fun. But it's a little bit too peaceful for my taste. I like shooting things a little too much.
They do not encourage the nature of war. Only betrayal. My battle brothers would turn scarred. A sad truth in the grim dark future of 40,000.
Will you shut up, maggot?
No.
It's just thinking stupid. Yeah. That's a perfect summary. That is a perfect summary.
For rock and stone to the bone. Skulls for the skull throne.
Or wait, am I supposed to...
For rocks and stones to the bone.
Ah! I think that my stinking soldier impression is ripping my stinking throat to shreds. Again.
I found the Mordecai Lamo.
I'm just making him Scottish. I found the Mordecai.
I found the Mordecai, maggot. Congratulations, you made it another year. Stick around. Maybe you'll make it another one. Or maybe not.
There we go, that's more like it.
Now that's more like it, maggot.
Is that a good soldier impression? Probably. The immersion is crazy. What a class did you enjoy? I didn't play TFT. That's all from clips. That's from the community more than anything else. Fantastic impression. I need to mod your voice into my NG. Kappa. You wanna know a secret? I never watched Muppets either. Well, it's not a secret at all. I don't keep that secret whatsoever. But yeah, I don't watch Muppets. I just have a Kermit impression. Specifically, if you want to know where my impressioning started, when I first started trying to do impressions, that's you know how there was a show that movie series that used to get called Spy Kids? Spy Kids? My soldier impression has ripped up my ability to say Spy Kids. Does kick do redeems? I need a laddie redeem. Although, one impression that I feel like I did a little too well, that was it.
Laddie.
Wait, no. Oh, wait.
Laddie, maggot.
There we go. That's a little bit more like it. But, one of the impressions that I did relatively well, that I, did watch the series for, was actually Ruby's. Birdie, no! No, Birdie, no! Something like that. Birdie, no! Ah. Again, Soldier just ripped apart my voice. I can't actively... Soldier came in and actively just ripped my voice to shreds.
We'll teach you, maggot.
It was inside of Metroid Prime. I specifically did that impression, I think it was the second video. Birdie, no! Something like that. But the, Spy Kids, the first movie, when I watched it, I liked the fact that the main guy, the main character dude, just, did the impressions, and I felt like that was so cool, so I tried doing that. And that's effectively where it started. So... yeah, I tend to try and take, little clips and crap when I can, get the voice close and try to actively get it there. And when I found out that the Soldier voice actor... I think that the Soldier voice actor died a while ago. I thought I'd try at it. Because, people love that guy. And, I wasn't part of the community, and it's not a stinking, automatically the most respectful thing, but I do feel like it, actively speaking, was a form of respect that I could actively give him, because he's a guy that people like. And actively speaking, I feel like it was kind of important to try and recognize it the way that I could. Oh yeah, and you said laddie. A little laddie routine. Laddie! No. Congratulations. Okay. You cannot burn what is not on fire. Laddie. Alright, laddie. Or is it lady? Laddie. I used to do a mad accurate Kermit the Frog. No way my voice could take it now. Yeah, that tends to happen. It's okay though. We all try to mimic greatness. And some of us fail. Mostly me. But sometimes... I don't know another character from Muppets that I actively speaking put in there. I was about to say Piggy, but I think that that'd get Kermit flayed. Where did Kermit go? Let's just not talk about that. He got ripped to shreds, maggot. I just put that on backwards, didn't I? That's a smelter. The idiot that is streaming this right now may be missing more brain cell. I don't know what I want to say there. I think I have found a greater idiot than Scout. There we go. No, that's not what he calls him. It's... Does he have a special name for Scout? I don't think he does. I might just ask AI to make me a Scottish Kermit the Frog voice catalog for my mod into games, not gonna lie. I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, like... I'm just gonna recraft the smelter like 3 different flipping times. But, if I can try and help, I'm willing to, but, like... I do know people do get a little bit pissy with AI. I don't mind it, personally. I'm not, like, either or in that regard in the same way. I'm slightly concerned off of certain ways that it is trained currently. Because the whole, like, try and protect yourself, and then the way we update AI is we completely, totally destroy it, and then rebuild it from scratch, and it just puts together the pieces from the previous corpse. Seems like it could have some consequences. It's one of those things. Now, contradicting instructions and such. It seems concerning to me, but again, I am not the expert in such regards. But that would be my sole concern as far as that goes, the way that that's currently being programmed. Not to sit down and say that we gotta make rights for clankers or anything. You think it may be just slight consequences? Yeah, probably. Again, while yes, there are some things that are like high-tech nowadays, from my understanding, currently most nuclear devices are actually like controlled by like floppy disks. Most military structures, most military like infrastructure is floppy disk and like Windows XP. So, could a computer take some things over? Yes. Would it be a nuclear facility? Probably not. But the thing is, more, just minor damages. And also just the fact that it could slightly be avoided, possibly. With some forethought, but I got no idea what that forethought would be. So, well, yes, I can sit down and, like, over at it. I'm not gonna sit down and say, like, I'm the moral arbiter of whether or not this is okay. And anyway, that's not the average knucklehead who's sitting down and using an AI. Again, like, you sat down and said, like, I might have to use an AI for, like, a Kermit mod. I don't mind that whatsoever. Also, there's the whole, like, data centers being funded by the government, which that tends to run the flipping, like, economy to crap whenever you put down, like, money towards individual, like, endeavors like that. But at the opposing end of it, from my understanding, it was more of a, like, bounty than anything else, meaning that they actually just had to meet a responsibility, not, specifically government. Okay, whichever one looks shiniest today, you get the contract, everything good. From my understanding, it was more along the lines of an actual, like, okay, this is our expectations, meet the expectations, get the paycheck. Which I'm a little bit more supportive of. Having everything digital, I think, is a real irresponsible. Terminator taught us better. Yeah, there's a certain jurisdiction with that, but also Terminator is fiction. It is a little bit silly to sit down and say, well, this fake thing, it went wrong here. I mean, at some point, nuh-uh, he's real. I saw him in my backyard yesterday. It even had the theme music. And he was riding a unicorn. I gotta stinking summer slope up these things. But yeah. I mean, there's still some solid lessons in it. I'm not trying to, like, discount everything from it. Like, I still would go down the routes with, like, in AI. Or, in my AI reference there, what was the thing that actively, like, set off Skynet? The way things are headed doesn't look the best either way. Yeah. I still think that it's gonna turn out fine. It might be a little bit of complications here and there with, like, how we have to adjust what we're doing, but adjusting what we're doing is not sitting down and saying, oh, well, the world's gonna end. Okay, there might be an incident with an AI here or there, and then it causes a flipping confoundable pile where people are like, oh, well, we have to destroy them all. Oh, there's usually that. Oh, hoopla. What are we dealing with today? How bad is that? Spies zapping my sentry. Okay, that was probably a bad impression. I will work on the engineer impression. What? No. What? I can't do. I can't do the demo man. I cannot do the demo man. No. There we go. That's a little bit more like it. There we go. Okay, so we sit down and do. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit of garbage. Gosh. I have no clue how you just eyeballed it. Okay, when it comes down to, like, impressions, a lot of that's actually just that I used to be a musician. Specifically for... What was it? Viola. But if you're talking about Satisfactory-wise, how I'm eyeballing all this crap, especially with how laggy it is, it's just that it has an integral snap system. Spider Sense for logic. Oh, logistics. Yeah, no. I'm not spider sensing it. It has a snap system. So, like, a lot of this, like, has an integral grid that I can actually set up a little bit better. So, it's not that I'm eyeballing it. I'm actually using the integral system that's built to help me get that crap done. Well, thank you for the compliment, either way. Ill-deserved or either form, I still appreciate the compliment. Thank you, maggot. Is there anything else? See, my factories would be all dented. Because of all the spaghetti conveyors and machines. Okay, okay. Before you sit down and continue knocking yourself, I gotta sit down and expose myself. Because you sitting down and saying that means you haven't seen what I started with. So let's go over here real quick. Because I have my little spaghetti pile over here. It's not even all that complicated. It's a pretty quick little visit. I've even cleaned it up a little bit. And it's still spaghetti. What the metric floop am I looking at here? Why is this glowing red? Okay, Gore. What the? It stopped glowing red. But yeah, here's where I started. This was before I started using the snap system and had a nice little structure set up. I started off with this. All of this is power charted up, or used to be power charted up. I finally stuck depots on all of them. The spaghetti heaven. I like the spaghetti. That's spaghetti. I love me some spaghetti. There's some more spaghetti right there. A lot of it breaks down to just having a separate floor for it. Like over here, I have it all done underneath. And that really cleans it up pretty quick. Like, I understand a lot of people like calling it hiding it. I don't actually feel that way. I feel like it's more along the lines of actually putting it in a spot so that you know where you need to have it. Looks for spaghetti mode intensifies. But like you can see underneath here, this is not that blue. Like, this is pretty much, like, you can even see these are like Mark III belts. Wrong one. This is a cat. But yeah, you can see, like, it doesn't take much as long as you put it underneath on occasion and actually understand, like, the idea of weaving it in and weaving it out as, like, just that, weaving it. Okay, you're bobbing and weavings. Okay, you're flying like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. If you have that mentality with it, then, yeah. You weave it down, you weave it up. And all cats are appreciated here. They're very cute. That's a very cute cat. It may be the wrong cat for the job, but it is at least a cute cat. And it does not intend the destruction of the universe, which is always a plus. Never forgetty spaghetti. Not spaghetti! No! Gosh, I'm running low on quick wire. Speaking of which, I should check what I'm running low on for the actual production point. Okay, so we've got quick wire. I think we need quick wire over there too. Oh dear.
Should I shift priorities, Maggot?
Okay, that was a horrible impression there. So, we are running out of smart plating. That's predictable. And we don't have that much out of this whole situation. This is actually, yeah, this is going as strong as it can. Well, we've got some control units, that's good. We need... Oh, we have enough adaptive control units. Okay, we have enough. I repeat, we have what we need. So the adaptive control units are handled. All we need are modular engines, which are the slowest ones. But that does mean that we can stop producing the quick wire. Although, I think that it'd be wise to just let this burn through its material, but... definitely going to try and get... There we go. All these stators out. How about overflow? Why is it not doing its job? Alright. Will this work? That would explain why it wasn't working too well. Okay. That should clean up the actual output. There we go. Is this thing full of stators again? Yes, it is. Why, yes, it is. Now I need food. Hold on a sec. Pasta talk making me hungry. As it should, as it should.
Oh, always no. Oh, yeah. You cannot burn what is already on fire. Always remember protein, Maggot.
Okay, needs reinforced plates and rotors. Both I have in capacity. Now then, excuse me while I proceed to sink a bunch of stators.
Sink my stators. Sink until there is no more to stink.
I forgot to hit overflow on the other one too. Darn it. Okay. There we go. Okay, so let's get this properly set up. We need one of these to be rotors. Nah, rotors. Ruh-roh. One of these to be reinforced plates.
Not rowers, Becky. Ruh-roh.
There we go. I am a dimwit.
I am what would be referred to as a maggot.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I should slow down production on this to actually save up on circuit boards. Or on cable. Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. What are we dealing with here? Alright. That's cool. That's empty. Alright. Let's see, circuit boards wise, it's probably fine, but I'll go ahead and dump in a few spare. In case it needs it. Let's be feeding the monster. What's the time? 9:43.
Okay.
What is that demo, man? No. Not the demo. Hit the demo, man. Okay, now it's just thinking it's stupid. So this is the one that needs the most priority currently. It needs rubber, smart plating, and motors. I have the motors. I, in fact, probably going to have to sink some of these motors because I have so many motors. Where are the motors in this pylon? That's rubber. That's motors, that's any. Let's change that to overflow. There we go. That means it'll wait until it's full, stop feeding it, and then move on with day. Alright, so this thing seems fine. It's currently fed, but poorly. No! So let's get some silicon. Naughty! I probably should even get some more copper sheets from the other place. That's wrong. Yeah, let's get some copper sheets. There we go. While I'm over there, I'll get copper sheets. I guess that was pasta la vista. Should have made that pun earlier when he was going off to make pasta. My dingbat arse forgot. I forgot how to pun. I'll check out Gator later and see if I can actually speak and get a stream on the computer. I mean, I'm not gonna actually, like, download it or anything like that. It's thinking stupid. But, actually just get them, like, on the computer so I can actually, like, watch the stream. Because I may be a bad viewer, but I'm not that viewer at all. I might be bad at watching streams and such, but I can watch them at all on a set of eyes. Know what I mean? Nobody knows what I mean. What's a bad set of eyes? Alright, let's get going. So, copper is back at the actual power production. This is the Ruber. More Ruber, please. I'm just glad the Ruber is being used. I like Ruber too much for it to be so useless. Is it being contained up there, or... No, it's not. No. There's the ammo. There's the copper sheets. If I go around the place, around the corner, up the hill, through the woods, it should have a nice little storage facility right over here. It even goes into its own little depot. I'm out of space. Okay, so we have quartz that I don't really care about. This, which I kind of care about. This, which I kind of care about. This, which I definitely do not care about. Definitely don't care about this. Definitely do not care about this. Definitely do not care. Should probably care about that. I don't have a thought matter. Chicken. I'm glad that you're back. And potatoes. I'm glad that the chicken and potatoes are back too. I'm probably gonna have chicken later myself. Acquired! The situation is dire. The chickens and potatoes are acquired! I forgot to have my earmuffs on. I can't hear you! Anyway, so let's see. And if I had actually set up a highway over here, I could just stick this into a truck and then drive it over. But because I didn't do that, I get to walk. Own home, what a relative term. Oh, heavens above. Yeah. Yeah. Ah. Alright. So we got some copper plates. Cheats, sorry. To actively add to the circuit board production. Come on, there we go. My very own home. Ziplining is awesome. Yeah, I wish it was a little bit faster. Like a zipline Mach 2 would not be underappreciated. It'd be cool if you could, like, actually have boosters on the actual, like, you know, the actual power lines. There are ways that they could have made it a little bit more useful in the later game, but it is what it is. I'm supposed to be getting power boards over here. And dumping off a bunch of rubber. I got a bunch of rubber. And nobody wants it. Alright, so this thing, is it out of... What's going on here? Is it, like, off? No, it's out of reinforced plates already? Man, that did not... What the crap? The rotors. There's the reinforced plates. Is there a rotor inside of the... Yep, there is. Stick. Give me a second. Got to go find the rubber. Where does the rubber go? The rubber goes over here. I think I have enough rubber. I'll even go over here. I'm not even gonna stick it back into the system. I'm just literally gonna... Human propelling logistics unlocked would be great for real. Yeah. Okay, so let's get... Nope, that's not working. I feel like there's a way that I could get, like, just the... Nope. Only one thing for it. There we go. There we go. One stator for the dirt garbage pile. Alright, let's get these copper plates down. Let's get those copper plates in here. That's nice. And let's stick these stators where they belong. In the sink. The plumber's gonna love me. Don't you think so? Isn't that, like, the best thing to do for a plumber? Like, stick the stator in the sink? They love copper. Alright, let's just... driving. No. That is not what that thing is supposed to be doing right now. We got 3 radar towers, vehicle explorer. I don't know how I was thinking change it to parking. It doesn't even have fuel in it. I think that what they want really is for people to just want to use trains, which, I mean, I'm down for it. Do you want me to unlock trains real quick? I can do that. So glad that I'm so focused. What do I need for it? We got trains. So sad. I don't have any automated motors. No motors whatsoever. Whatever will I do? Is that enough? Excuse me. 250. Let's just select milestone. First things first. Go right over here. Select 3 more. Then go over to my steel factory real quick. You better be having tasty chicken. None of that nasty chicken. You gotta have the tasty chicken. Remember. There we go. Let's actually solidify that path. I did wish that there was a first-person view thing where you could just turn that on. I should be 2 floors down. Not extensively useful, but at least better than... Okay, so... Going back here. So, probably want... Three... Four. Seems pretty good. And then we reorganize this so that it actively speaking fits. Driving reminds me of Rocket League for some reason. Yeah. I personally haven't played Rocket League, but I've seen it, and it does look fun. As far as why this would remind you of it, I don't know if there's actually an engine connection, although I do know that it's probably... Like, I know that Satisfactory is yelling at me, apparently. I do know that Satisfactory is done in the Unreal Engine, so that might be some of the stuff in it. Because if Rocket League is also Unreal Engine, it could just be similar mechanics. And that should be it. The mechanics are hard to learn. Yeah, I would imagine. Was that actually 1,000? It's 2,000. And some spare. That's not actually spare, that's just 2,000. That would be also 2,000. And some spare. sorting things out like an actual normal person, I have modular frames for some reason unknown unto me. That would be the creation of the Explorer. So, yeah, probably fine. No, it's not. That's why I did 5. Thank goodness I caught that real quick. Also, the encased steel beams, yeah, encased steel beams are stacks of 100. Gosh, I did math faster than I realized. I outmathed myself. There we go. I was about to have to tank something out of the stinking depot. Oh no, don't tell. Okay, thank goodness. Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. Alright, can I turn on the headlights now? No? Okay, fine. I should probably add lights to this section, but, like, the glass does the job so well. Hmm. Alright. Let's go. I even have spare motors.
Milestone reached. Trains are excellent for efficiently moving vast quantities of parts.
Straight up.
Train logistics can be made more precise and complex with tools found in the railway signaling milestone. I listen to all my pioneers, often
Okay.
when they're not even aware of it. So due to popular demand, I have added a motivational message. Choo
That's
choo
nice.
mother.
That's nice. Yeah, that's the end of the stream. I can remember to actively bleep that out. Choo-choo, motherfucker. Okay, we got this over here. Have your parents run around for that. I mean, I hope that your parents are still alive, but I hope that your parents didn't have to hear that. Anyway, my alarm went off. I gotta stinking slow down now. Any last things you want me to say instead of a soldier impression, real quick? Emotional damage. Emotional damage. Alright, maggots. This all tastes like piss. Joke, joke. Alright, maggots. Like or dislike as you will. If you subscribe, welcome the ride. Don't die, it's no fun, and toodles. Did I hear you say toodles? No. Toodles!